Good morning, everybody. How y'all doing? I hope everybody is well. So let's just jump right into it. Today, this video is dedicated to Chrystul Kizer and the million of other voiceless sex traffickers. And if y'all haven't heard about her, she was convicted of mandatory homicide. I believe that's what they charged her with. In Wisconsin, and she's facing a life sentence. So let's give you a backstory of Chrystul, right? Chrystul was born, her mother gave birth to her when she was 16 years old, and her mother had three other children after that. And this is her mother we're talking about. And her mother was in an abusive relationship with a man who was like seriously physically abusive to her. I can't remember where they come. They was from Milwaukee. Then they moved. After the abuse, she moved herself and her children away and didn't take any belongings, and she moved to Wisconsin for a better life and to get away from her abuser who was physically abusing her. So she moved there, whatever, and it was hard for her. She had like several low paying jobs, but she's trying to make ends meet for her family. So her son started stealing cars, I guess, at teenage years, and just the poverty stricken situations, right, where some people can find themselves. If you don't talk to your children about education, about finance, and clearly I think that it seems like that was the case, right? Because I don't think that her children would have done those things if she would have had those type of conversations with her children, and also expressing whatever she went through. Now, mind you, they never just said that in the articles that I've read, but I'm just basing this off of what I have read, right? And also from observation, you see, like most people who like are in poverty or low income, they can easily fall prey to the surroundings that's around them, and that's crime and the unnecessary bullshit that can happen with living in those types of situations. So her mother moved to Wisconsin, and Chrystul herself was in an abusive relationship. Shit repeats itself. She got with some guy who was like, I think she was 16, he was 19, and somebody had witnessed and called the police that she's a tiny little something, dragged her and picked up a stick and hit the girl like about 10 times. Now this is her boyfriend at the time. So I guess things had gotten a little hard, at home. Her mother wasn't home as much because she's out trying to provide for the family. So she was free to roam, and then unfortunately got caught up in the bullshit. Because at first she was learning to play the violin. Her mother was paying for her to go to these classes and shit like that. But yet, she was easily fell prey to bullshit that happens at peer pressure that happens at school, right? So she started cutting classes and stuff like that, and just knowing that life was hectic, she, which a lot of people do, unfortunately, and not only not even like young girls, just women, and some women, what I'm saying, can easily fall prey to making money in the sex industry. You know what I'm saying? So she put up this thing, and I know everybody, if you haven't heard about it, it's called Backpage. Backpage, I think they said it was shut down. It's a place where people can facilitate or sell fucking sex, right? And anybody can go on there. And so she was one who went on there. But wait. Before I go there, right, let's back up. So we're going to talk about oh God, I don't even want to mention his name. And he's a Caucasian male in his 30s who answered to Backpage ads that was posted by people, and his attraction was to black girls, right? So this one little girl who at the time I think she was like 16, and she posted an ad probably in the same situation. They don't really go into detail about her situation, but she posted an ad, and he replied, and she said he was really nice to her, and she done went out to dinner with his family, and like he groomed her. That's what any predator does. You know what I'm saying? They groom their prey, make them feel like, you know, like you're great, and, you know, I'll do this for you, and all this crazy shit. And, you know, of course that made her feel special or whatnot. And then they started having sex. And then she said he started to get violent with her. Then he introduced her to drugs, to LSD or acid, one of those, some super harsh ass shit. You know, a grown man, you know what I'm saying, so-called, introduced her to that. And then so they found her wandering the streets. Like, I think he kicked her out or whatnot, and like she was just like in a state of highness, right? Her pupils had dilated, and she had on like a jacket. It was cold with just a bra on. And then she told the police that that, you know, that he gave her the drugs, and that where she met him at on Backpage, and they had been doing what they doing for quite some time until he started to get violent and introducing her to drugs and whatnot. And also he was pimping her out to other clients, which is other men. And so with that, they started an investigation with him. He was arrested, right? He was arrested, and they also found his laptop and shit with tons of motherfucking child pornography on it, with himself on it, having sex with underage black girls. Like, it was like dozens of them. And he was charged and released without motherfucking bail the same motherfucking day. You see this shit? So listen, so now he done met. Now that happened with a girl whose name wasn't enclosed. But we just go back to Chrystul, right? So Chrystul put up an ad, and so she said he was the first person who responded, and so they went out, whatever, and they had sex. She gave her $500. He let her drive he had a BMW, and I guess he was being nice to her. And then she started to say that she didn't want to do it no more, and that's when he started to threaten her, and he was also like pimping her out to other clients and stuff like that. The police had already had a case of him, but there was dropped, right? Not dropped, but he was just released, right? With nothing. So now him and Chrystul then came and crossed each other's paths, and then he started to pimp her out. And she started saying she didn't want to no more. She still was with her boyfriend, who was the abuser, and he gave her a gun because he didn't feel like she was safe. I guess she explained to him what was going on, and so he had gave her a gun. So she had went to his house, whatever, and there was an altercation, or she told her she didn't want to no more. She shot him in the head. She shot him twice. Then she set him on fire. And so they somehow, they found that it was Chrystul was at her boyfriend's house to do her abuser, who was physically abusive to her. And they what's called a battery. Wait a minute, hold on. What's the word that they use? You know that big ass fucking metal, like a shield, and like they push the door in, or that big metal thing where they like press and put like and pound the door in. Okay, but they used that to get in his house to get her, and so they handcuffed her, took her to jail, and that's where she's been ever since, right? And wait, hold on. Wait, and so they arrested her. But anyway, so this is under the federal law. All children who are bought or sold for sex trafficking victims, regardless of circumstances, they can't be charged, and they can't be charged because they're minors, right? And Wisconsin is one of those states that participate in that, right? However, she is still in jail because, and also the prosecution was saying they don't care what anybody say. She killed this guy, whatever. Okay, yeah, but then he also abused and ruined so many underage girls' lives, regardless of what. Even if they did put themselves out there for sex, but then again, look at the backstory of most of all of those young girls. They were poor, in search of money. We live in this world where money governs every motherfucking thing. You know what I'm saying? So, they did that not even knowing the outcome. Maybe they thought that it was going to be a one-shot deal or some shit. Who the fuck knows? But they got involved with this person, and then boom, this happens. And so Chrystul is still in jail, and they're trying to get the shit dropped, and I hope that they do. This is a horrible, tragic fucking story. But I hope that the system pay attention to the backstory of the people who was abused by this person. And also, wait, let me tell you about the abuser, whose name I just don't want to mention his name, the Caucasian so-called male. They said that he was born with missing toes and fingers and one leg shorter than the other. So maybe he was socially awkward, not giving him no pass to abuse like young girls. You understand what I'm saying? But not only did he do it one time, motherfucker, this was like over and over and over again. And now he had gotten so in depth with the shit, y'all, that he was doing it on the black market to where the bank had called the police station to inform them of the cryptocurrency that he was participating in, that he done traded like over $1.5 million, right? And so when the bank did that, they was like, what, did you know that about the case that's pending against him? They was like, no, it's just that it was a suspicious currency that was moving through their bank. However, they didn't know that he was dead, and also that he was charged with child trafficking or abuse or whatever the charge was. So, like, he was knee deep in this shit. You know what I'm saying? And his target was young black girls. And then you have to ask questions to that too. Then you also think about that. Just how, like, seriously, you also have to, like, really, like, your mind has to, like, travel, right? Because there's a history with Caucasians and African people, right? And how Caucasians have raped black women and children when we were enslaved by these people. And then, like it's just a cycle. And so since that happened, you know what I'm saying? And then also, you look at the system. The system don't give a fuck about, like, little black girls who come up missing, or, in rape cases, or even, like, little black boys, same shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is it? What the fuck am I trying to say? The focus on them is, like, minimized. You know what I'm saying? But luckily to the lady who started the Me Too movement, you know what I'm saying, opened up this whole book, you know what I'm saying, about black girls, and also, like, the assault of sexual assault against women and children, period. But definitely her focus, because she's a black woman, you know what I'm saying, was on black women, but however, and girls, but other people can come in, of course they do. You know what I'm saying? And not saying that they shouldn't, I'm just saying. But it's crazy, y'all. So there is a petition going around. You can Google it. Please sign it to get the charges dropped against this young girl. Mind you, this man, not only did he destroyed her life, he also destroyed many other lives. But then again, you think about it, like, see, we have to also think about this, like, people, you cannot, having children at a young age is not a great idea. And not to say that you can't overcome it, all depends on where your mindset is and what you think about yourself and how far you want to get in life, right? So, but like, her mother had children at a young age. I don't know what her educational background, but you know, she was working low income jobs, you know, that subsequently made life like even more harder for her and her children. So people, please, like, talk to your children about sex. Don't have them out here having children at a young age. Not even if they, because people are, you're gonna have sex. Like, your children are gonna have sex at some point, and hopefully it's consensual and this doesn't have to have money involved or with some grown ass motherfucking man. Because then also there are a lot of grown ass men who quick to try to fuck a young ass girl. Girls, like, stop, like. It's real out here in this motherfucking world. And there's some nasty motherfuckers in this world. Real talk. But like I said, back to Chrystul. And she's a teeny tiny little thing. Sign the petition. It's online. You can Google it. And, you know, we're going to send a prayer out to her and her family, and also do what you can. There's also a GoFundMe for her. So also donate. Every dollar counts. It's important that you do that. So, you know, Google that. You can also participate in that. And the whole point is, people, seriously, sex is something that's going to happen. But you want it to be consensual. You want, when your child do have sex, that they have sex with somebody that of their own age, that they have a strong knowledge of sex and hold themselves with value and morals, and understand that this is their temple, and they don't just give it away like freely, like you got a piece of candy in your motherfucking pocket and you be like, no, we don't hand ourselves out like that. So look. Wait, this is one thing, another thing that I read. Now, I don't even know if this shit is true, because, you know, you can't believe everything that you motherfucking read. But I did read this, and this story, I read a couple of stories, but this was about Chrystul and her case and the situation comes from the Washington Post, right? It says that while she's in prison, so some guy reached out to her, this white male, who was also in prison for child abuse. So they've been writing each other back and forth. And according to Washington Post, they said that Chrystul said that she's going to marry this man. Yo. See, when you are abused and nobody is putting no value on your life, you can fall for any motherfucking thing. Now, I don't know if that story is fucking true, but that is something I fucking read, and I hope for God's sakes that it's not. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, y'all just get the conversation going about Chrystul. Get the conversation going with your children about sex, about education, what they want to do with their life. Hold themselves at high standards. You know what I'm saying? About themselves. And I just want to end this video right now because it is, you know, it's draining. A lot of people don't want to talk about it, but bitch, it's something that's happening, and it happens to more people than you know. Yo, I read another story about this other young lady. I think she was 12 years old. No, 13 or 14, something like that. She was a sex traffic victim. Why she's been in prison for 3 goddamn decades. Come on now. Listen, people, get your shit together and send a prayer out for Chrystul. And do what you can. Sign a petition, give money. There's a GoFundMe, and get the conversation going with your children. Have a great day. And y'all know I'm here every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 8 a.m. It's talking that real sex talk shit. Y'all know I am an author. The name of my book is, where it at? Quickie is 7 short erotic stories. Please get that. It's only $1.99. It's an ebook form only. You can also get it at your local ebook retailer, and the book is Quickie. I'm also an intimacy coach. The name of my service is called Seductive Art. I teach visual stimulation. We have real sex talk. Then we put on our heels, and I teach an erotic and sensual and seductive dance. So if you have a bachelorette party, girls' nights out events, birthday party, ladies, holler at me. I'll make your event so much more sexy. It's fun. It's informative and sexy. So if you want more information and more details about seductive art, please email me at realfashion@yahoo.com. I'm also a designer. The name of my brand is Real Nice, a designer and a stylist. You can see some of my fashions on Poshmark.com. If you want a new look or something, you want to come to my showroom and see some of my from my collection, please email me at Real Fashion. That's for appointments only, at realfashion@yahoo.com. And I'd like to say thank y'all so much for watching. Y'all know I'm here every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 8 a.m. ish, talking that real sex talk shit. I'd like to say thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a fantastic day. Leave your house with all positivity and greatness and the pursuit of greatness, and just continue to move and flow within that world of greatness and goodness and godliness. You feel me? So y'all have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow. Later.